How do you define your relationship with your family?
I'd say it's really good. Me and my mom are like really close. It's more or less like we're sisters. She had me really young. She was only 17 when she had me, and then she was a single mom probably until I was like 3 or 4. And then my stepdad really come into the picture, and he's raised me ever since then. So me and him have kind of had a bond. Like of course, any family has their ups and downs and stuff.
Yeah, for sure.
But my mom, she's like my best friend, and I tell her absolutely everything. And like I said, we're more like sisters, right? And then me and my sister, since I have moved out, we've gotten closer. Like, me and my sister always fought all the time when I lived at home. But since I moved out, it's like we've gotten closer. We respect each other a little bit more. Mm-hmm. And when we're together, we don't fight, like, at all. Like, we'll wrestle around and whatever.
Yeah, like typical, like, family things. Yeah.
Yeah, and then, like, with my grandma, well, the person I felt like was my dad was my papa, and he's been gone probably about almost 7 years now. But he kind of kept us all together,
like
and then, and then after he passed away, we all just kind of fell apart, and now we're just starting to be able to deal with him being gone, and being there for my gram and my mom and stuff like that. It's different, because before I was used to not talking to my mom or not talking to my grandma, and now it's like,
so in a way it's kind of like helped you gain
actually
a better
get
relationship.
us with him being gone and everything. And I would say everybody else, like, I get along with them. I don't, like, me and my aunties were real close, and even me and my uncles, and so I'd say, like, my family relationship is pretty good, and that's where
like a typical happy family with their bumps in the way.
Yeah, so we don't have too many of those bumps anymore, so it kind of works out.
Yeah, that's good. What do you think motivates you?
Honestly, I'd have to go back to the last question, my family.
Yeah.
My boyfriend motivates me. They're always constantly telling me that, anything I set my mind to, I can do, right? So it's like, I kind of feel like
everything kind of happens for a reason.
Yeah, and it's just like my family and my boyfriend, they both of them have taught me so much, and it's just like, I feel like everything that I do in my life now is because of what they've taught me, and because of how they push me and motivate me to do better in my life. Because I look at their lives, and like, it's not that I don't agree with what they've done, but I kind of like just, okay, well, I didn't have kids young, so I'm able to do this and do that. And my gran, she had my mom when she was probably about 21, 22.
Yeah.
And she still did, she still did everything. She went to school. She was the director of health services down here on Six Nations, and she really pushed herself, but that took away from her time being with my mom.
Yeah.
So it was like, I want to make sure that I have all this stuff done before I decide to start a family of my own.
Yeah.
So then when I do have my family, I can focus on that and not have to focus on
running around with your head cut off.
Yeah,
like you're going to be there for them, kind of.
Yeah, instead of being like my gran, where she was away from my mom, and my mom really resented that after for a long time, and it was just like, okay, well, I need, I don't want to have kids this early, because I want to have all this shit done and looked after before they come into this world.
Yeah.
So that's those stories like that, and like with my mom having to basically sacrifice everything for me.
Yeah.
She was 17 and when she had me, so she quit school. She had a music career going. She raised me, but, she's not even graduated high school. She's 38 years old looking to go back to finish that, so I'm like, I don't want to have to do that.
Yeah.
I don't want to have unfinished business.
Be, like, on your feet.
And I want to be very stable for my family and know that, okay, like, I can take care of them.
Yeah.
And I can be there for them the way they need me, instead of having to worry about working on my life to make their life better while they're here.
Yeah.
Kind of thing.
Makes
so
sense. Yeah, I think that's
so those
a lot
stories,
of people's kind of goals. Yeah.
Yeah, that's my kind of story, is like where my grandmother came from and my mother. It's like, okay, well, I think you did a great job, like not trying to be rude or nothing, but I'm gonna do
You want
this.
to kind
So
of better them a little bit.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So that's probably the most motivation I can have is from my mother and my grandmother.
Yeah.
Like,
I think like that's kind of like every like when you're like talking to like even like when I talk to my grandparents too, I'll be like, oh, like well, I want to do this and this, and they're like, oh, well, make sure you finish school. Like you always want to kind of do better than like your dad or your mom. You want to try and like not outdo them, but like kind of just do like that much better so you can live a better life than they did. Even though my parents live a great life, like honestly, they're away all the time.
Yeah,
like, I want that life. Yeah. Like, I don't want to be like, oh my god, like so stressed out.
Like I gotta pay this bill and that bill, and that's what I feel right now is like I'm trying to pay for school on my own. I live with my boyfriend, paying bills. I have a job. Like it is very stressful, and like I think if I got pregnant, I'm just like, how am I gonna do this?
Yeah.
Like I can't. Like I'm just like I barely have enough money getting by as it is, you know. So it's just like that kind of. Their stories kind of like my mom did it.
Yeah.
But I'm not my mom.
It kind of like
I'm not as strong as my mother was, so I think I'm not gonna be able to do that. So it motivates me to push myself and to get better at something and to want, you know,
to want more for yourself.
Yeah, and like I mean, like with this. The course that I'm taking isn't obviously going to make me millions of dollars or anything, but that's not. I'm still going to have a good paying job, but I'm also going to love what I do, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I think that has a lot to do with it because I've seen my mom go through jobs, and my grandma, like I said, was the director of health services and hated her job.
Mm-hmm.
Like, she loved helping people the way that she could.
Yeah.
But it was the people that she worked for that were not very nice, and she hated it. Right? And now it's like I want to be able to love my job and to help people and to
so it doesn't feel like a job. It's
like,
just
like I get up and do what I love every day, right? Like so I like all their experiences and just hearing them talk the last 15 years about it is just really what motivates me to push myself and to do better and stuff like that. So
so a little bit more easier question. What do you like to do in your free time, and why do you like doing it?
I like, ever since I was little, I love dancing. Dancing and singing is kind of my outlet to, you know, people have their different things, like you have
riding
your horses and stuff like that. Which, how you feel about that is how I feel about singing and dancing. Like, if I'm upset or I'm angry, I just lock myself in a room and play music, and I either sing along with it or I dance to it. And I've kind of been like that ever since I was younger. It was the only way I could really
express yourself.
Yeah, like I felt like if I was like angry at my parents or if they got fighting and what they were talking about was upsetting to me, I would just blare my music to block that out kind of thing. So it kind of got to the point where I sing along and would really be able to feel
something was like helping you,
getting out there. So I'd have to say that would be the thing I would do in my free time the most.
Yeah.
Is
wish I could do that. I have to like, okay, like I want to go to the bar and I have to drive 10 minutes and now it's like too cold outside and like so like I think that'd be
and then we like too in my house we have a lot of extra, like we have 2 extra bedrooms, so one of the bedrooms like kind of turned into my little spot. So I'm like
dance studio.
Yeah. So it's that's what I'd have to do, is to just, if I'm frustrated or whatever,
just go.
Even if I'm like really, really happy, I still go into that room and just even spend an hour, half an hour, whatever.
Get in touch with your inner self.
Yeah.
I guess as people say, I don't know.
Yeah.
What are your greatest strengths and why do you think?
Oh, yes. I'm a really easy person to talk to. I don't judge a book by its cover. My mom has always told me that since I was younger, that I'm able to just sit and talk with anybody. And I really am, because, you know, like your great aunts and uncles, you don't really talk to, or like, you know, like their family, you say hi and stuff like that. But
like, you know,
I think what she really noticed was a time when my grandma had brought her brothers and sisters down to Memphis, Tennessee,
Yep.
Because I used to live in Nashville, Tennessee, so we met them there.
That's cool.
And then, but we were at the breakfast table, and my two aunts were talking to me, asking me stuff, and I'm sitting there carrying on a conversation, you know, like it's nothing
Yeah.
to me, right? And then, like, even with my mom has struggled with different problems throughout her life, drug problems, alcohol problems, you know,
Yeah.
stuff like that. And she always said that I was the one that would sit there and talk to her and hear what she had to say. So I would have to say that would be, like, my greatest strength is being able to talk to somebody and really get to know them and
See who they really are.
and then try and help them the best way that I know how to. So I would have to say that would be my greatest strength as a person.
It's a good strength, especially like, for like the course that we're in.
Yeah.
Just looking it up. Yeah. You'll excel at this for sure. Yeah.